Hey, you guys. I hope all is well. Um, it's been so long. Hi, you guys. Welcome to Dora Page. As you guys know, I haven't really been on here, but if you are not a subscriber, make sure you click the big red link below. I have so much to tell you guys. It's overwhelming. So I got my water, which is got the vitamin C in it, basically to help with immune system boost. Wow, God is good. So I like to take a deep breath now. I'm practicing my daily routine that I actually just started a couple of days ago, and it's just taking a deep breath and releasing anything negative or anything that makes me want to say something that I shouldn't say, or anything like a negative thought. I was just take a deep breath. Oh my gosh, thank you guys for tuning in. Once again, if you're not a subscriber, make sure you like and click the big red link below. Make sure you comment. You guys, oh my gosh, I miss you guys so much. This was so therapeutic for me, just doing my videos and being able to share with you guys. I know a lot has happened in the last, I think I haven't did a video in maybe 5 months or so. Yeah, and the one that I did was with my friend Mia the Body, and you guys go check it out. It was great. It was on relationship advice. At that point in time, I was in a relationship. I am not in one now, but I previously was in a previous relationship. Kind of don't want to speak on that. I'm a very open book for you guys. For me, it's still a healing process. So I kind of don't want to speak on that. I just want to focus on me, right? So I want to focus on loving me more and focusing on the things that I need to get done. So with that being said, let's kind of just jump into it. So you guys, I opened up a consignment store. I am purchasing a house. I actually have 8 days. Well, 9 technically, before I close on my house. I'm super excited. I'm in the process of getting all of that together. So yeah, just pray that this underwriter just be on my side, And so I'm super excited about that. Yeah, I've already started taking a lot of things down in my house. Once again, what else happened? Yeah, starting a business. It was, oh my God, it was starting a business, for real, is a little rough. It's good, but I did put a halt on it. To my Lux consignment shoppers, thank you guys, love you guys. For certain people, and I'm going to start back listing stuff, but I just kind of want to get my closing done on my house because that's just so much energy for me. And then having to work on the store, I think that I put too many eggs in one basket. And especially when you have someone in your ear kind of cheering you on, even though they're cheering you on to do it, doesn't mean you should do it. And I'm speaking from
just because they say they're going to be there doesn't mean they are. Trust.
It's different.
I've learned that.
Have support. For me, I don't have any family here in Georgia at all. I just recently met 2 amazing women.
Oh my gosh, they are so amazing, so thankful.
That's able to, I was able to really connect with. And yeah, so, it's different when, they're there supporting you and then it's when it's not, it's kind of but doesn't mean that I'm going to stop doing what I'm doing. It just means that I'm going to focus more on what I need to get done rather than what they want me to get done for myself. Because, one thing that I learned, self-preservation is key. I think so many times we get caught up in losing ourselves with another person. We forget about those things that we love to do. For me, I know when I was in a relationship, I stopped doing the things that I love to do. I stopped going hiking. I stopped walking my dog as much. I stopped playing the guitar. I stopped, really, to be honest, I stopped my relationship with God almost, in a sense of a way, because I had this dwelling feeling of doing something wrong and still trying to, give God all the glory. And it's kind of like, it's like, oh yeah, I know I'm out here being horrible, but that don't mean I can't talk to God, which is true, you can't. But I just had kind of like that defeat in me of talking to him. So I stopped reading my devotional every day. I stopped doing my poetry. I was writing a book. I stopped doing everything when I got in that relationship. And I think one person has this quote, and I'm going to think of her name because she's a dope poet. But she said, when loneliness needs its fix. And I think when you find something that you feel that is like, oh my gosh, this is what I've been looking for, you kind of forget yourself and the things that you did to help cope or help companion when you were single. And so for me, that's what I did. I even stopped doing my YouTube, and this individual wanted a YouTube, so I did the YouTube, and I literally just forgot about everything that made me happy. And in the process, I was troubleshooting. I was having problems, internally. And eventually, like I said, I'm no longer in that relationship. And, in general, and my whole segment is more about finding yourself, like finding your reserve, that knowing that you are good enough, for me, I'm an open book, so I'm really big on being open, being honest. And when you are open book and some people read, and then some people just look over it, right? So I think for me, a lot of situations I've been in, people have kind of like, they read the title, oh, okay, I like the title, and they read certain chapters, but they don't finish the book. And for me, it's very important, to start and finish something, because if not, then, you'll never get anywhere in life. So, like I said, it's been a rough couple of weeks for me, but I'm getting out of that state of mind. I'm going back to doing the things that I love to do, and building a better relationship with God. I've missed that so much, and it's a process, sorry, it's a process. My throat is dry. But it's a process, and it's a healing process. But the good thing is that Iyanla Vanzant said that when you're healing, it doesn't mean that it won't hurt. But when you're healed, you won't feel that pain anymore. So, I know it's so easy for people to be like, oh, you'll get over it, you're beautiful, you got all these things going on. And it's like, that's fine. But for me, in my past, relationship, I was the one that was being left. So it almost left me vulnerable with no control. And when you have this certain kind of, like, for me, I'm a hopeless romantic. So I really try to work things out to the bitter end, but I also believe in letting people have that free choice of choosing what they want to do. One thing I never wanted to do was to force someone to be with me, or to make them feel punished for telling their truth. But for me, whenever I always told my truth, I was able to do it and get and feel free of it, but I always was punished. Even, when I told my truth, it was like, okay, I told my truth, but then immediately, like, I was still punished for it in a sense of a way. I was punished. I was left. You know, and you know, I've always been upfront with people. I tell people that I am a rose in concrete. Remember a rose has thorns. You know, I'm beautiful, but you know, I got some things that, you know, that I have to work on, and no matter like who I'm with, that's just gotta be something I'm gonna always have to work on. I guess for me, it's someone who's willing to stay with me to work on those issues. But in general, you know, for me, I think that once we start to love ourselves more, and before I got in the process of being in a relationship, you know, I thought I was ready. You know, I thought I was ready, and I believe that I was. I just think that that was like a stopping point, and that wasn't my final destination. So, you know, like I said, going through that, and then literally the week before you know, my partner, you know, left me, my business, my website kind of crashed, you know. So, you know, I'm literally having to start back over, but you know, that's okay. Like, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with starting back over. Because one thing I know about God, that surely if he did it once, he can do it again. And God do everything for a reason. And, you know, for me, you know, I've always been an open book with you guys. I've dealt with abandonment issues just from, you know, family issues as far as like, you know, my dad leaving, and, you know, just never really having that more support from my family. You know, always having to do everything on my own, starting to dance at the age of 16. I've always had to fend for myself. So it built up almost like this defense mechanism. But for some reason, I always was a hopeless romantic. Like, I believe in the fairy tales. Like, I believe in love. Like, you know, like just a week ago, I was like, oh my gosh, I will never, ever, ever love. And it's like literally a couple of days later, I'm like, you know what? I can't love again. I just can't love that person again, but I can love again. So, you know, it just shows that like I'm such a great person. I think that we just need to do more self-love, right? We just, that just felt so good, like to do so much self-love, to say that I am worth it. I am loved, and no matter what people say about you, no matter if people leave you, I always want to let you know that God loves you, and there's someone out there praying for you. And I'm so thankful for the prayers, you know, and that really helped me, you know. They are still helping me. So keep praying. But yeah, you guys, so, you know, this last 2 weeks have been very rough for me. But I believe that it's a blessing. I believe what is for me is for me. That no man can take, no woman can take. That God has something special for me. And I've always believed that I've always been ordained for greatness. And regardless of what, is going to be that person one day who looks at me and be like, oh my gosh, like, girl, I'm so glad your mommy and daddy made you. Like, I'm so glad, because, you know, like I said, we forget about who we are, you know, and even in work, you know, just working and, you know, trying to be a part of like social media and all of that, trying to keep up, we forget about loving ourselves. And it's so vital to love ourselves. It's so vital to love who you are, you know. And even people who may not accept you for who you are, may see you as a, you know, as a disruptive person. You know, what someone else may feel about you may not be who you are. And don't ever let someone take that away from you. I'm really big on it. I tell my friends this. I say, girl, you better not, if somebody tell you to do something and you don't feel that you should do it, don't do it. You know, you're entitled to your life, you know. But also, you know, just take some time out and reflect on yourself. Troubleshoot, like I said earlier. I had to take some time out and was like, I felt myself becoming who I used to be in my old relationships. And I'm like, how did I come from so far to coming back almost to where I used to be? Like how? You know, but when you allow people to come in and to have that much power over you, then you will forget yourself. But it's okay, because you can rise up and be that person that you want to be. And if it's some issues that you're working with and you're like, ooh, I need to check myself, check yourself. You know, hey, I had to write down some things. I was like, you know, I need to work on a couple of things, you know. I need to work more on my self-care, self-love. And I need to stop being afraid. I think we are afraid to be afraid. Like, we are afraid not to be okay, you know. Some days I feel like shit, you know. Some days I don't want to get out of bed. Some days, you know, I feel abandoned, you know. But I have to keep pushing, you know. I have to know that it's going to get better. And for me, having that affirmation, having that it will get better, that's what keeps me going, you know. So like I said, this is more of a self-care video, is to, you know, update you guys, because, you know, you guys have been asking like, oh, you don't do your own channel. And for the people who's asking about my other channel, no, I no longer have that channel with that individual anymore. I also disabled my social media and my Facebook because I needed self-care. I didn't need people asking me about my relationship, asking me about my website. It was just too much. You know, like I said, I'm about to close on my house, and right now I just want to focus on me. I want to focus on healing and moving forward and being happy and finding love, and I know I will. And hopefully you guys, you know, when you see the videos to come, you know, might have a little boo. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, I might, you know, I don't stay on the market long, so I am a hopeless romantic, but I promise you this time, I will make sure that when, you know, it's like when you tell somebody what you want in a relationship, what you expect, and then they change up on you, of course your views is gonna change, because that person basically lied to you, you know, and said that they accepted you and they really didn't. So of course, you know, you're not going to feel comfortable, because it's almost like if I say, oh yeah, well, you know, I like this and I actually like that, and you know, they're like, oh, that's perfect, I can do that. And then the moment things don't go right, they just kind of like stop, right? It's, oh, I don't know if I really like that, or I don't know. And those are people who are undecisive people, and watch out for that. I've seen that in my past relationship, and I ignored that. When things would not go right, that this kind of person switched, right? And when things went good, it was kind of like it was back on key. Those are red flags. Pay attention to that. And I will say this, I'm a person who, I take my time, but I also go off of what I feel, because life is too short to not live your life. Life is too short not to love, right? So I will say, you know, my next relationship, I will do more self-inventory, and I will watch signs, not just what they say, because a lot of people, for me, they always tell me what I want to hear, and they start out doing, you know, what I ask for, and what I always tell people what I recommend in a relationship. And then, you know, slowly but surely, when that honeymoon kind of phases out, it's like, boom, you know. You know, so long story short, get a person who's really committed and really wants what you want, and pay attention to the red flags, even if they're small. Small things can turn out to something big. I'm a living witness to this, okay? And start doing self-evaluation. Ask yourself, what is it about me that are attracting abandoners? Seriously, you have to pay attention to people who say, well, I don't know, you know, when they used to say yes. Pay attention, do self-inventory, and ask yourself, what is it about me that are attracting people to abandon me? And more than likely, those people have issues also. But it isn't up to us to figure them out. It's for them to figure themselves out. and it's up to us to figure ourselves out. So with that being said, I love you guys. I pray that you have a blessed week. Remember to put God first in everything that you do. I am going to try to do these videos at least once a week for you guys and do an upload. Always remain who you are, and you guys, I'm okay. I'm okay. So love you guys. Bye.